All right, so let's get on with this video. This live stream right here. I mean, this how Drake and DJ Academics situation got worse. And if y'all been watching my videos, I've been saying, man, Academics been acting different lately. It seemed like he's doing a lot more exposing. It seemed like he's trying to backpedal. It seemed like he's trying to, do like control damage. Seemed like he's trying to, walk away from Drake. Seemed like he's trying to distance himself from Drake. And it seems like I'm not the only one that's been noticing that. I've been saying that for a while. I'm like, yo, Act is acting a little different. Like, this ain't the normal, type of reactions. Like, lately he's been giving out more information about, Drake beefing with Pusha T, with, Metro Boomin. He's like giving the details to a lot of these things that, we just assume. I'm like, yo, what the hell? Yo, why is Act telling us all this stuff? I'm like, hold on, Act must know something. Act must know what's going on because he's giving a lot of information. So I can see the rollout. This is like the rollout, in my opinion. So it's just very interesting how Act is talking about Drake these days. He's willing to dish out more information than he normally does, right? And I pay attention to the little nuggets that he drops, especially for that round 2 stuff. So if you listen to him, if you really pay attention, he like drop little nuggets here and there, and then months later, it'll play out. But let's see what Fantastic Hip Hop has to say about how Drake and DJ Academic situation just got a lot worse. Let's see what he got.
But also most hilarious things in hip-hop right now has been that after becoming the laughing stocks of the genre, both in terms of being an MC and being a voice within the culture, now Drake and DJ Academics have reached a point so low, where instead of embarrassing themselves by crashing out on other people, they are now at odds with one another. As after a few streams where Academics was being rarely critical of Drake, as it started to seem like Act was facing major consequences from Drake, as he was hopping on live with some of Act's competition and feeding other people in hip-hop media news that he would usually get. Act quickly started to backtrack on his negative comments and then just praise and try to make Drake look greater than ever before. But now, after it was pretty clear that Act's recent change of pace and narrative creating to help Drake in this time was more out of fear for Drake and having something come out about the truth between them on all levels over everything else. This act that was going on behind the scenes just ended up crumbling in really one of the funniest but also jarring ways for the state of hip-hop as a whole that we have seen in quite some time. Because while in almost every manner possible of what Academics was doing, he had kept his tracks covered and was checking every weird box he needed to show his audience, OVO, and Drake most importantly, that he really is a stan of his. And in general, no matter what the outcome of the beef was and all the trouble Drake is in at the moment, that he is still standing on everything he has said over the years. One thing has ruined everything for Academics and is seriously going to change his career and the state of hip-hop in terms of the information coming out in general. Now, before we get any further into this, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It helps me out a ton. And so now with what Academics did, that has just pulled the curtain down on what we can now say is the fortune he has built on just lying and deceiving his audience, revolved around one of the most talked about moments in every music fan's year in none other than Spotify Wrapped. And now with the 2024 yearly listening recaps just dropping, Act shared his, and already from here, we saw that while his most listened to artist in 2024 was Drake, his second was Kendrick Lamar. And because of this, Act was already getting a lot of backlash. And between this and the fact that he had been more critical of Drake recently, his supporters, who majority are also Drake stans, were ready to just lose it on him. But Big Act saved himself having Kendrick Lamar at number 2 by turning it into a way to praise Drake once again in a manner and saying that it was because of the beef that Act gave more attention to Kendrick and turned it into a sentiment to make Drake sound even greater as he is bringing up anybody whose name is attached to him at all. And I mean, for the situation he was in, this was a pretty decent cover-up, I guess. But now after this, what happened next with Act showed that on a lot of levels, a lot of what he has said this year and tried to paint about Drake has pretty much been a sheer and utter lie. Because after flipping through his Spotify on stream, he accidentally showed us his top 100 most listened to songs of the year, and really in what is going to go down as one of the most hilarious clips but also revealing in terms of where the integrity of journalism is at in recent hip-hop history. Academic showed the camera this top 100 songs, and as soon as he realized that now the entire world has seen his number 1 most listened to track in 2024, which was Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us, I mean, look at the guy's face. He knew it was over and that he's never going to get in Drake's good graces again, because from the way he quickly gets startled and then freaked out, you could just clearly see that Act didn't want to show people this. And really, with the fact that before any Drake song was on this list, also Euphoria was here as it was his 3rd most listened to song of the year. And when you look at this all together,
yo, that was hilarious. After all that dissing he doing, come to find out, Not Like Us and Euphoria is top 3. Well, two of his top 3 songs that he listened to in 2024. So all that hollering and hipping, but you're right. He gonna try to backpedal and said, "Oh, this is because of the beef." No, it's because you like the song. All right, and what I made the video a while ago that I did a reaction to. Academic is a undercover Kendrick supporter because those old clips when he was talking on Everyday Struggle, man, he was dogging Drake and giving praise to Kendrick Lamar. All right. Go back to those videos of Academics on Everyday Struggle. Boy, he used to dog walk Drake and he used to give all the flowers to Kendrick Lamar. Then all of a sudden, just switched out of nowhere. Now Drake is the GOAT and Kendrick Lamar is just, he makes snooze music. He's a, black soap wearer, shea butter and all these jokes. So very interesting, the switch up that Act has done from Everyday Struggle to now. So very interesting, very interesting.
And you realize that Act has been trying to push the narrative that all of the hype from Not Like Us was manufactured and that only machines are streaming it and not real people. The fact that it is now the song he has listened to most in 2024 is just really the craziest plot twist that could have ever happened in Act's world. And it seems like he already knew that now as the world had seen that over any Drake music, he has been bumping not one but two Kendrick Lamar songs that are directly responsible for ending and shattering Drake's career and reputation more than anything else. It seems like after the way things were already going for him and Drake, that Act knows he is done here, and at this point between everything he has been put through behind the scenes, in a way, after just embracing the fact that Not Like Us was his top listened to song, on some level it seems like he's not even fearing the consequences of Drake never trusting him again and feeding him information. And maybe this is because he's realizing that despite all he has done for Drake, because really, in this narrative-based era where the content and messaging Act has been pushing out was supporting Drake and the position he has been trying to keep more than his actual music has for years. When you look at what Act has done and what Drake has given him in return, he's really not done much for him, and beyond using him as a beneficial platform for his rap career and sampling him on a track like Push Ups, which I'm sure Act did not receive any sort of ownership of the track for. And making it all sink in for Act, Drake is always hanging out with other big content creators and going on other people's streams who don't even have any sort of relationship with him in the first place. And he's seemingly done this before he even ever considers being seen with Act. So really, with this entire situation for both Drake and Academics, it's hard to tell who really looks worse here, because in the case of Drake, he made the person who was running one of the most pivotal parts of his entire operation this year to defeat and deface Kendrick Lamar's reputation. And really, again, and for Drake especially, where narratives online are so important, this may have been the most important job of them all. Somebody who seemingly likes his biggest rival's music way more than we have all thought, and for someone like Drake, who boasted about how calculated and on top of everything he was on a track like The Hard Part 6. Well, even more than ever, that was clearly a lie, because after a little research and digging, the internet found clips back from when Act was on Everyday Struggle with Joe Budden and Wayno, where he said that Drake had no classic albums, and that Kendrick Lamar had 3, and also that—
Exactly, right? I literally just said that the Act that we're seeing of now is not the Act of old. It's a complete 360. Complete 360. Yeah, dip from my live, bro.
that Kendrick Lamar is just better than Drake straight up, and that Drake is soft for never addressing his issues with Kendrick Lamar in a direct way. And all of these are from 2017 to 2018, so this is really not even that long ago in the grand picture of it all. So now looking back here and seeing how Act's demeanor has switched over the years and how despite being supposedly used as a puppet for Drake, before he became the Act everybody knows him as and a lot despise him for being today, he was a massive fan of Kendrick Lamar just a few years ago. And now knowing that he is still listening to his new songs this year more than anything that Drake put out, I mean both of these guys just look like absolute clowns, because Act is showing that he has no integrity as a voice in hip-hop media, as for whatever reason, despite his listening history and comments from years ago saying otherwise, he has pledged his allegiance to Drake and has entire pages ran by employees that are dedicated to helping shape his image within a stronger light. Meanwhile, behind the scenes and in the past, he has directly expressed that what he's been putting into the world now is not really reflecting how he feels. And I mean, for Drake, the fact that after trying to use one of the biggest voices in hip-hop media as a puppet to push the ideas and sentiments that you wanted to get out there, that on some level he may be against you and that his heart is really not in what he's saying, this isn't just a terrible look for Drake that's adding another reason to the long-running list of why he had one of the worst years any rapper of his size ever has, and why his strategy in this beef was absolutely terrible. But after one of the themes and turning points in Kendrick and Drake's back and forth came from 616 in LA, where Kendrick rapped about the fact that people around Drake and within his circle are actually working for him, the fact that the supposed biggest supporter, advocate, and stan of Drake this entire time seemingly loves Kendrick Lamar and has been trying to hide—
Hey, Ed, I've been saying that. I've been saying, yo, what if Act is the mole? I've been saying that jokingly. I'm like, man, what if Act is actually the mole? I've been saying it. From us just makes this moment a little more powerful than it already was. And I think no matter how you look at this situation and what you want to interpret from it, for Academics just really being a joke in hip-hop, and for him now proving that this seemingly delusional loyalty to Drake and rage towards Kendrick Lamar, along with everything else he has done on a lot of levels, has been an Act. Kendrick's bars throughout this year, whether it was 616's line directly calling out that he can see something is up with Act as he name-dropped him, or to him later saying with his Black Air Forces track that media personalities are pushing false narratives for their own financial benefit. We are just seeing in real time another layer get uncovered to the stuff Kendrick has been rapping about, and with both Drake and Academics, with the way their relationship has already been moving and the way Drake fans and OVO have been turning on Act already, from here, this can really change the way Act may approach everything going forward, because it's definitely shaken up a lot of his relationships behind the scenes. And for Drake, while he already only used Academics for his own benefit, and it's clear that he doesn't want to be friends with the guy on any level, now I imagine that Act may be added to the long-running list of people who he is not on good terms with. And really, after seeing the way this year has went in hip-hop, and now seeing this moment where the rapper and personality who tried to fool the culture and hold it within a state where the bar of quality had never been lower are just having their entire careers and relationship crumble as the truth is coming to light, overall just really seems like the most fitting way for these two frauds in their own rights to have some of the biggest fallouts we have seen in quite some time. And so now, with all of that said, let me know, what do you think
think about Axe secretly being a fan of Kendrick Lamar's music, and how do you think the shakeup between him and Drake is going to change things going forward? Now, I can't wait to hear what you have to say about this entire situation.
Yeah, man. So this is gonna be very interesting to see how this unfolds, man. This is just a rollout to 2025. It's gonna be a lot of switching up, man. I can already see the switch up right now. Academics is doing a lot of backpedaling. You know, he's starting to give his unbiased thoughts, and you know he's calling out Drake on a lot of things in a lot of different ways that he normally doesn't call Drake out on. But now he's definitely starting to speak his mind a lot more truthfully about Drake than he did in the past. So, speaking of academics,